We're going to be talking prospect talk with our friend here, Benjamin Bornstein. Ben, how's it going? How are you doing?
Fantastic. We are getting to the meat of the college basketball preseason, so I am feeling it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you have for us in this edition of our prospect talk. And full disclosure, before we got on and started recording, we did have some technical issues here, but we got through them. So we're here. We are here now. So we're gonna listen to Ben here give us his spew on what's happening and when it comes to college basketball prospects and college basketball. Ben, give it to us, man.
All right, so I've got I've really got matchups of the week for you, and then I'm breaking down here are the prospects to watch in each of those matchups. So we're going to go in chronological order here because we're going to try and make some sense. So November 19th, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Eastern. I know many of you listening, watching are Central, so 8 o'clock Central. Not too late of a night for you all. Must be nice. We've got Purdue at Marquette, what is likely to be a top 15 matchup. It might even be better than that. It might even be a top 10 matchup, depending on what the AP poll does with Purdue. They had a huge win over Alabama last week. So they might even be ranked higher than they are now. They're ranked 13. A win like that probably gets you into the top 15 or the top 10, I should say. Marquette may stay, may move up. We'll see. But top 15 matchup, really good stuff. Anybody who has followed Purdue at all in the last few years knows that Coach Matt Painter loves having a 7-footer on his team. And so he decided, I'm going to replace Zach Edey with two 7-footers. He's got Will Berg, who is 7'2". He's the guy who's going to be starting now. But they had freshman Daniel Jacobson, who is 7'4", but he's going to be out for the rest of the season. He has a broken tibia, fractured tibia, I should say. So he will miss the rest of the season. But if you've followed Purdue at all, you know that they like to shoot the three. They are usually a very good shooting team. That is the same this year. They are sixth in the country. Granted, it is small sample size early in the season, but they shoot over 45% from beyond the arc to start the season. They don't have any real draft prospects on the team right now, despite having a couple of huge dudes. Um, Tyler Kaufman-Renn is probably the closest guy they have right now. He's their leading scorer. He's been a real nice player, but not really sure if he's NBA material quite yet. But he is perfect for the college game. He does exactly what your coach wants you to do. He does things that help you win games, certainly in college. Um, they pass the ball really well. They get a lot of open shots. That's why they shoot so well from three. They're averaging almost 20 assists per game as a team, which is great. Like I said, coming off a big win against Alabama. On the Marquette side, pretty solid defensive squad, only allows 65 points a game. Purdue up there in the 80s, so we'll see which defense prevails in this game. Um, as far as Marquette goes, Kam Jones is their guy. He runs that offense. He runs that team. He makes them go. And he is their best and most likely NBA draft prospect this year. He's a little on the shorter side. I think he might be 6', 6'1" on a good day, but probably a second rounder. He's shooting really efficiently to start the season. He's averaging 24 points a game and 5 assists a game. So really nice player, fun to watch. As far as both teams go, neither of them really turn the ball over that much. They average less than 11 turnovers a game each, which is phenomenal in the college game. And both are scoring over 80 points a game. So whoever can get a stop in this game is probably going to win. As far as the second game goes, so this is 2 of 3, just 3 total games. I tried to boil it down to, pun intended, tried to boil it down to the best 3 games of the week. And trust me, the third game is going to have plenty of prospects. So if you feel we're a little light, don't worry. We're about to get a lot heavier. Illinois at number 2, Alabama. Again, Alabama may drop a little bit because of that loss to Purdue, but they're still a very good team. For Purdue, Will Riley has been a superb freshman, a legitimate draft prospect in the lottery, maybe just outside of it. He's probably a guy that the Spurs really want to keep an eye on. I talked about him earlier. You'll see in that episode he's 6'8". He's kind of a shooting guard, small forward combo. Um, they haven't really played anybody yet, so it's hard to gauge how good some of this team is and how good some of Will Riley and some of his play has been. Um, but he did have a lot of hype coming into the season as a recruit, and a lot of people are excited about him. Um, they had almost, I think, a week off from their last game between that and when they're going to play Alabama, so they should be very fresh. They should be well prepared for Alabama as well. Tomislav Ivisic, the other leading scorer on this team, him and Will Riley averaging about 17 points a game each. So they are the heavy offensive load guys for this team. Another guy to watch for, he may be in the draft this year, he may be next year, still remains to be seen, but Kasparas Jakucionis, I am hoping I said that right. Please forgive me if I didn't. He's likely outside the lottery, but still a first rounder in this draft. And Illinois as a team, excellent rebounders, 14th in the country, 47 total rebounds a game. Crazy stuff. And they are also top 10 in free throw attempts per game. They're averaging 30 free throw attempts a game, which is pretty absurd, and a lot of free points, ideally. They're kind of a middling shooting team otherwise. As far as Alabama goes, they have a few draft prospects. Mark Sears at point guard. He's a bit older, but he has been phenomenal. He was excellent for Alabama last year. So far has been great for them this year. And Grant Nelson, looking like a guy who's a nice big forward who can shoot. He should get some NBA draft buzz. And Cliff Omarui used to be at Rutgers, now at Alabama. Could be a solid player. Could be a mystery, not a mystery, but could be a late season draft jumper. Could pop up a little bit more. Alabama also excellent at getting to the free throw line. They're 11th in the country. Reminder, Illinois was 10th in the country. So very close to each other. They're pretty solid inside the arc, not particularly good from beyond it. They are number 31 in rebounding, so they're a good rebounding team as well. Defense is solid. Again, they're coming off their first loss of the season to a pretty good Purdue team. So you have to imagine they're going to want to take out some anger on these guys. Our last and probably most exciting game of the week. This will likely not be a top 10 matchup as it was previously thought to be, just because Duke lost to Kentucky in a phenomenal Champions Classic game, and Arizona got beat by Wisconsin in what might have been one of the worst officiated games of the season. And we're only 2 or 3 weeks into the season, and it's pretty safe to say it was a very poorly officiated game. Not that would have affected Arizona winning that game, but there were over 60 foul calls in that game. I think there were something like 80 free throws taken. Unbelievable stuff. I won't go on, but it was bad. So Duke and Arizona should still be a top 25 matchup. That is the 22nd at 10:30 p.m. And before I forget, the Illinois-Alabama game is going to be Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Duke, Arizona, Friday at 10:30 Eastern. So hope you don't have plans for Friday night with your significant others and loved ones, because it's going to be a late night if you're a college hoop head. But on the Duke side, coming off a tough loss to Kentucky, they did beat the bejesus out of Wofford after that. They have probably 4, if not 5, potential draft guys on this team. So here we go. Kaman Maluach, 7'2" freshman, incredible athlete, runs really well, huge lob target, phenomenal defensive presence. Super fun to watch. He can defend 4s and 5s for the most part. Con Knipple, 6'7" freshman, certified shooter. That is how he was billed coming out of high school. He struggled against Kentucky because they were really zeroing in on him with the defense, but I think he showed that he could be a bit of an underrated driver. He's going to have to learn how to find guys on those drives, but he has nice size. Not super impressing anybody on defense, but he has the strength to stand with some of the bigger guys. He could guard some bigger threes and fours rather than some of the faster guys because he will get blown by at times. Um, Tyrese Proctor, a 6'6 junior. He's the point guard on this team. He has gotten much more confident in the last, this will be his third year. So he's gotten really confident in the last 2 years playing at Duke. He understands what it takes to be a point guard of a team with that kind of talent. He's setting guys up to, he's putting them in spots that are advantageous to them. And he's likely going to be a second round guy this year if he comes out. He's shown he can run some offense and he can go get you a bucket on some occasions. And of course, the guy you cannot miss. He's the big hashtag guy this year. Capture the flag, Cooper Flag, presumed number 1 draft pick in this class. Not particularly close. He was, as soon as he reclassified to the 2024 recruiting class, everybody had him as the number 1 prospect for the 2025 NBA draft. So, why is that? He does everything extremely well. He can self-create. He makes shots. He plays with extreme poise. And I would say the caveat being, with the exception of 2 possessions at the end of the Kentucky game where he turned the ball over because he was trying to do too much. He wanted to be the guy very badly. So he's not afraid of the moment. He just has to actually perform in the moment, I think. And I'm going to run under the assumption that he will have that opportunity later this year. He can play multiple positions, probably 3 or 4 positions even. And he has a phenomenal motor, and he is a competitor and always has been. And actually, another advantage he has for him is because he reclassified, he's actually a year young or younger than most of the other NBA draft prospects this year. He's not going to be 19 at the beginning of his first NBA season. I think he's going to be somewhere near 18, 6 months, whatever. So he won't even be 19 when his first season starts in the NBA, which is obviously huge. And, we're going to move to the Arizona side. I know we got really excited with Duke. Arizona, maybe not as exciting, but they do have some nice prospects. Like I mentioned, they're coming off that really weird and bad game to Wisconsin, 0 defense. That game, Wisconsin scored over 100 points on them. They still scored, I think, high 80s or low 90s. So no defense. And that's kind of been how Arizona has played the last few years, which is a bit concerning. But they are fun because they get up and down the court and they score a lot of points. They will have to step up and get stops in this game, and they may actually have the guards to do it in the backcourt, but I don't know if they're going to have the size in the front court. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the country. They get 32 free throw attempts a game, which is 5th in the country, just free throw parade. And a lot of that had to do, I think, with the Wisconsin game that probably pumped up their numbers a bit, so we'll see if that comes back down to earth. But their 2 prospects, KJ Lewis, a 6'4 sophomore, really good defender, super strong, which helps him guard multiple positions. Really solid off-ball offense, cuts really well, finds openings in the defense, has to become a more reliable and a better shooter, more consistent. The other guy they have, Carter Bryant, a 6'8 freshman, hasn't gotten a whole lot of minutes yet, but may work his way into the rotation a bit more. The potential is there. I think a lot of people see he's got an NBA-ready frame. He has the athleticism. He has the strength, and at 6'8", people love that size in the NBA. He's going to have to be a better shooter on the move, but he is reliable in the spot up. So that's those 2 guys are probably Arizona's best prospects they have for the upcoming NBA draft. Those are my 3 big matchups to watch this week. And you guys are going to get a lot more of that from me this season. Don't worry, especially with Feast Week coming up soon. There's a ton of tournament games, a lot of potentially great matchups. Of course, we have to watch how the first round of all those tournaments go. That's going to decide all the other games, but really exciting stuff, really fun, and looking forward to talking about that more on this podcast.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that, man. We look forward to hearing more of what you're going to bring us in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. And when it comes to college basketball prospect talk, but where can they go ahead and follow you on the X or in social media?
Yes, what I will always call the Twitter, because I am a believer in the OG stuff. But you can find me on Twitter, X at _Boomstein. Easy to remember, easy to find. Promise. You want to talk to me college basketball, I will talk your head off. You may unfollow me after that, but you will get your question answered.
There you go. For everything you have as far as questions go when it comes to college basketball prospect talk or college basketball in general, make sure you go and hit Ben Bornstein up on the X or, like he says, the Twitters. So for Benjamin Bornstein, I'm Joe Garcia. Thank you all for watching another college basketball prospect talk episode here with me and Ben. We look forward to talking with you all again. We'll be out of here. Peace. We'll see you all next week.